Welcome to the Launchpad, where ideas lift off.
Previously on the Launchpad.
Guys, what time is it?
No, it's getting late. What's the holdup?
Hi guys, I'm so sorry. We tried to get a hold of the last contestant and he's a no-show, so he's not coming.
Are you
serious?
joking?
Did you
this
call
is a
them?
joke.
Ooh. Should I pitch for you guys?
No, we don't want to hear it.
No.
Just who are the advisors? They are the trusted industry experts tasked with the very important job of finding the next big business venture for the investor. Kobe Yogaratnam, the UK-based outspoken entrepreneur, has founded and affiliated with several startups and has business interests in 3 continents. He's a shrewd new age serial entrepreneur with 10 years of experience in business management consulting at some of the premier corporations in the world. Manjula Selvaraja is a seasoned startup executive, journalist, and engineer. In her former role, she was the vice president of marketing and an early employee at a Toronto startup that went on to become one of the top 10 tech IPOs of 2012, valued at just under $1 billion. Carolyn Path is a system and computing engineer with over 10 years professional consulting experience in the software development industry across various verticals such as telecommunications, finance, and healthcare. She is also the co-founder and CEO of Le Petit Trois. Vahisan Selvaraja is a software professional and an information systems architecture and design consultant for one of the 5 biggest banks in Canada. His passion for entrepreneurship stems from the early days of his career. He strongly believes in Tamil youth and giving back to the community.
Hello, advisors. I'm entrusting you with $1 million in funding to find the next big business venture for Ideal Incubator. I'll be watching. Good luck.
Tonight on the Launchpad.
At what stage are you in your product development? Who's going to take liable for that? Not me. It's your tool.
I'm not a big fan of outsourcing for startups.
This is a way for people to make money.
So just to recap last week's episode, we did have a contestant who was a no-show, but the judges have just informed me that we do have a replacement for today, and here we are waiting.
Young entrepreneurs compete for the chance to win up to $1 million in funding to help bring their ideas to life. The better their pitch, the higher their chances of fast-tracking to the final round. Whose idea will lift off on Ideal Incubator's Launchpad? Last episode's no-show opened up an opportunity for an additional contestant. Nishant was able to run in last minute to pitch his idea for Fig. Will his enthusiasm and drive earn him a spot in the finals?
Hello. Hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good. My name is Nishant. I'm from Scarborough. I'm here to pitch in for my idea of Fig for $250,000, and I'm giving equity of 25% of my company. I began about this idea about a month ago, where I have to shoot a wedding, and I was running around and my camera broke. So at the time was very inconvenient because Henry was closed, so was any other place to rent my camera lenses. So I went up to my friends and say, I need to get a lens. But people are willing to give me a lens, but they're not willing to trust me. So I looked around and said, well, there needs to be something done. And I thought, there is some photographers have equipment. And here I am with the photographer, I need one. But they're willing to give it to me, but there's a problem, is they don't trust, right? But in the rental company, it's not a problem because the credit card, they could trust on the credit card. So I found that there's need to be a problem, need to be addressed. There is a community of people and a new environment starting, it's called shared economy, which is people are sharing things they have to make more money than collecting dust. For example, if you look at Uber, it is just selling a space in your car to make money. And it's just becoming very popular and it's destroying many industries. So I thought we should create something like that. And I went with my friends and we started something which is called FIG, fill in the gap. So the idea of FIG is basically is that you have a tool you're willing to give out, you put it in our platform, I hear needing the tool, I go and grab it. But there's a lot of people who have done this idea. Not only myself, there's thousands of people have done it around the world. But the problem is they have lacking tools. In order to build trust, you need social. I'm not talking about Facebook or Instagram, but I'm talking about real trust. A social strategy is to build a connection between people that makes them feel like, he's my neighbor, I could trust him. But that guy, I don't know. So we found flaws in many, many competitors who have done it. For example, if you have one of them providing the tool, they have fantastic with camera tools providing it, but the problem is people don't trust them. They give the tool, it comes broken. Who's going to take liable for that? Not me, it's your tool. So we came up with a unique solution to bond that problem, which is to lend someone a tool. At the same time, we take care of all of the necessary problem, just like a rental company. As a platform in FIG, we pay attention just into giving the consumer what they need and paying for it. We take care of the rest of the part of credit card process, their trusting, their liability, insurance, anything to do with those tools. And we have this tool just about to go, and that involves starting with our community. Say yourself in your house, you have a lawnmower, and someone who does one needs a lawnmower. Now we can lend it out to him. How are we going to build the trust in there? That is what we created with our rating system. If you look around, I'm sure you're familiar with going to eBay. At the first time I thought, I'm not going to be willing to sell to some stranger I know of, someone I met online. How did they make them feel so comfortable? It was basically building a rating system. That's what we embodied very strongly with integrating with social media. I'm not talking about just posting there and liking that and commenting or sharing it, but actually building real trust. If I have to import your social profile into it, I will know who's your social demographic is. And I can connect with those people and know how this person is before I rent it out to you. This is a way for people to make money, right? I mean, for example, I'm not sure we're going to have economic crisis soon, but in case if we do have it, people are not willing to if they're not willing to expense more money, they're willing to make more money out of things they already have. This is suitable for people.
Can we just pause there? And I like your idea. It's a good opportunity. You have innovation in it. Let's get to the details of how your product is going to be. At what stage are you in your product development?
Right now we are in the discovery phase, and we are just about moving into development phase.
Okay, what's your development strategy? What milestones do you have? What kind of features do you plan to input into your first release?
First, I have just partnered with a developing team in Liberty Village, and we are anticipating to start development as soon as we have some funding to pay for them.
Okay.
And initially we implementing it is on just renting books. That's what we initially started, which we're just going to start it with students in the university, renting tools, renting education-related things, because they're more willing to integrate in that demographic. So renting calculators, lab equipment, which now they're not going to use for the semester, but they will lend it out to someone else and then use it that year after. So that's where we're starting out.
So, I mean, let me just take you back to a second, and I'd love, Carolyn, for you to pipe in, because I know this is your area of expertise. I'm not a big fan of outsourcing for startups, the dev function, the development of the product, the coding part, to an outside team. Is some of it happening in-house?
Well, there is happening some of them. Basically, what me and my partner, we are closely working on coders and marketing together. We are developing something just for the growth function, which means we decide how we want to implement the codes, how we want the functionality to be. We have a coder in-house.
Okay.
But all we're doing outsource is like any heavy-duty programming, back-end coding, that need to be outsourced so we could focus on just core functionality of the product and the growth forecast.
Nishant, just the final question I just want to ask you very quickly. The way you're making money from this product itself, you're going to be charging the client a fee, and are you going to be taking a commission from that?
Well, we want to be really easy on them, so we're going to start with just 10%. So 10% of any transaction. So for example, if you lend your tool to someone else and we charge them $10, we will take about $1 from them.
Okay. And that's going to include all your insurance and everything?
Yes, that is well, what we thought at the first stage is we're just going to have them 10%. But for example, if as a renter or a lender would like to have insurance, they could add on a package, which will charge them another fees for that.
Okay.
All right.
Nishant, thanks for that. We've got enough now to kind of actually think about your pitch and think about Fig itself. Okay. You're definitely filling in a gap in the market, and but we're going to have a discussion about this and see if it's a product which is investable to the investment partner.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Nishant, great pitch, really well delivered. I think we all agree there. Nishant, I just wanted to ask you a very simple question in the sense of your product here. It's definitely a platform which I can see working, but I just feel like the commission and the cut is very minimal to cover all sides of your product itself for insurance purposes and things like that, and to make sure that the customer is fully supported. And I just feel like, I don't know if the rest of the panel agree.
And also, you got a call.
Yes. Yep. No, yeah, we agree, yep. That was actually what we're thinking as well. Yeah, let me actually ask that question, yeah. Nishant, the investment partner has a question about your insurance policy, a bit where I was going with that question itself. Do you not feel like, have you inquired with brokers about the insurance itself when you're covering goods? Do you have to pay for liability in advance before you even rent out a product, or how does that work exactly?
So we actually did a quote online. So we actually spoke with a couple of my friends who know partners who work in insurance brokers, and they said that we are as an entity we must be liable up to $25,000. $25,000 for every like each customer, each one who enroll in our service as a provider for rental. We must.
And how much is that? What's the premium for that $25,000 insurance per customer?
Exactly. Yeah. Well, that we're going to ask the lender to be part, or
what's the quote you've got for that each $25,000 premium? For that quote for each customer,
yeah,
you need to have liability insurance for $25,000, right?
Yes.
How much is that premium that you have to pass the insurance company?
We got to pay. I believe it's about $150,000. But I'm not. I had to because
per year.
Per year.
Per year. Okay.
But again, we had to verify that again because I was able to make this present in a short time.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That this is just like we just got a fast call to one of my friends, insurance broker. They know when we got the quote. But to verify this amount, I have to. If you could provide me some time, I can verify that for you.
Sure.
Fair
okay.
enough. Great. Fair enough.
Yep.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'll pass that information on. That's fine. Thanks. The investment partner says he loves what you're doing. He does definitely see the shared economy platforms growing, globally with different types of platforms like yourselves as well. At the moment, he doesn't feel that you are ready for a fast track ticket to the final. But what he does want you to do is to go into the public vote, and he wants to invite you back for the final, and let the public decide if they believe in your product, and get them behind you, and hopefully you could get that ticket that's one ticket left for the final and meet with the other final contestants. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Great idea.
Thank
nice
you.
meeting you.
Thank you.
I actually really need that product.
Soon you will have it.
Okay.
Thanks for coming. Thank you.
Thanks. Great.
Yeah, good.
I think the public are going to actually get behind it on this one, because it's, imagine the public seeing this and believing this, and everyone has a spare.
Is the best example.
Yep.
Or just one of those weird tools that you need once, like a chocolate maker for a party. Or those things, those inflatable things for your backyard. I don't want to own one, but if someone in the neighborhood has one, I'll borrow it for my kids' parties.
Hi, Nishantan. Do you have some time for a quick question?
Sure.
Awesome. So how do you feel now that you've done your pitch?
Feel much relaxed. And I had a lot of. We got a call last Sunday to do the presentation, and we had a lot of information we had to go through to sort it out to get it, because we had to get actual information to investors. So it was a lot of challenge, but me and my partner, we worked together and we brought it down, and I feel much relaxed now that I have done it.
That's good to hear. You did a great job. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. And it looks like contestant number 2 is ready. Jay, how are you feeling?
Feeling great. How you doing?
I'm good. Are you nervous at all?
Totally.
Do you feel like you're ready for this? Are you feeling confident at all?
I think I know the content pretty well, so I should be able to nail this out.
All right. Well, good luck.
Thank you. My name is Jay Rasalingam. I own a small business. My project is called Democracy. Democracy is a civic engagement app that allows you to have a say and be heard by the lawmakers. My motivation was the Tamil struggle. When the community needed to have cloud, we didn't have it. And I feel like as individuals, we all have to succeed to increase the equity of the community, and therefore I chose entrepreneurship as an avenue to increase that equity. My inspiration is Steve Jobs. Even he failed a number of times, he was able to come back and take simple ideas such as the MP3 player that existed, rebrand it, and position it in a way that made it a big hit. This show is something ideally I would have done had I succeeded already in this space. Again, as part of my reason for entrepreneurship is again increasing the community equity, and I think this show does exactly that. And so that kind of attracted me to participate in the show. And I hope being here and others being here kind of exposes the opportunity to other people and kind of motivate them to pursue their dreams than the typical field of study that they normally choose or they're motivated to choose at home.
Jay is confident that his idea for democracy will be able to capture the mass opinion. But will he be able to capture the advisors' vote?
Hi, welcome to the Launchpad.
Hello.
How are you feeling today?
Feeling great.
Good.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, great. Well, we're ready to hear your pitch, so let's get started.
My name is Jay Rasalingam. I'm co-founder rather, and CEO of Democracy. So there's an ongoing debate about building a subway versus LRT in Toronto. As an elected official or mayor, how do you determine what the people want? As a constituent, how do you express your view whether you want LRT or not, or the subway? There's a lot of noise, that's the problem. So as a constituent, you might pick up the phone and call them or write a letter to the official. You might go on Twitter or Facebook and rant about it. Or you chat amongst friends and family, or you might attend a protest to voice opinions on different issues. But how do you cut through all this noise? How does the official actually know how many Torontonians want subway and how many Torontonians want LRT? There's really no way to do that. So the problem with social media is it's very cluttered, unfocused, and chaotic. And there's the traditional polling method that they do, low response rate, 9% response rate. Unreliable, expensive. Low town halls, on the other hand, politicians try to do, low participation rates, and it's such a narrow focus. So what about the rest of the issues? How many town halls are they going to hold? Our solution is democracy. So what we built is a quantifiable voice. So that tells you exactly how many people disagree and how many people agree or unsure about an issue. And a higher participation rate, because the people who are on there are already care about issues and they're the active users. And it's very cost effective poll, traditional poll will cost anywhere between $10,000 to $100,000 depending on the scale, whereas it's per poll, whereas we give you unlimited amount of polling that you can do, the data that you can collect from the users, and it's very affordable. So the product is very simple. It's an app. So as a user, you select categories, and then the positions are given to you, and then you swipe right or left to agree or disagree. It's that simple. And then you can share with your friends. You can invite family and friends to the conversation into the app, and all that data gets curated and given to the elected official. And how we do that? Through a web interface. The lawmakers can see where the issue is hot, what is hot, and they can formulate policies and take action, corresponding action according to that. Market size, you're probably wondering, how big is this market? Is there money in here? Absolutely. United States, Canada, and UK alone account for $30 billion spent in marketing research and public opinion polling. We're only after the accessible, addressable market of NGOs, government agencies, elected officials, and political parties, and media. Let's not forget media. They do a lot of polling. They do a lot of analysis on these data. So that accounts for 450 million, more than that. Our business model is pretty straightforward. It's an annual subscription model, based on whether you're an individual or an organization, how big of an organization you are. Are you act in a municipal city level, or do you cover province-wide or country-wide or internationally? So how are we going to get these users? Because it's all obviously dependent on the user. So the resident wanting to use the app will enable the officials, lawmakers, to get information. We will partner with government agencies, elected officials, media, ambassadors who care about issues, particular issues, who advocate for particular issues, and NGOs who work there, who just work to increase civic participation, such as Samara. We're already in talks with Samara, and they're looking at promoting us and eventually establishing some sort of partnership. Samara Canada is a Canadian organization, nonprofit organization, known to work in advocating for civic participation. So that's our user acquisition strategy, and that's how we're going to get them on board. And by the way, we also talked to some politicians already, and they're really interested in acquiring this data. We are raising $100,000 for product and business development. So together, we're going to put democracy back in the pockets of people. Thank you.
Good pitch, Jay. Just off the bat, $100,000, well, how much equity are you providing?
Equity will be 10%.
This product is past the pilot stage, like it's ready to go?
We have the minimum viable product built. It's in the process of being launched in the App Store.
Oh, on the App Store?
Yeah.
Okay. And the groups that you mentioned that would be using this product, you mentioned media ambassadors, NGOs, government, elected officials. But how many within those organizations or those sectors have confirmed that they would use this if it became available?
In terms of number of people per organization.
Yeah,
so in the government, we haven't had any confirmation yet, because obviously we have to demonstrate the user base. People have to download the app before we can go and ask them to come on board. But on the nonprofit NGO sector, dozens of organizations have already committed to engaging
That's
with
where
us.
my question really comes in. So you have two sides for your application. One is the people who are interested in the opinions.
Right.
One is the one who are actually going to provide the opinion, right?
Right, absolutely.
So your money stream, or whoever is going to give you the money for the subscription, is whoever is interested in the opinion.
Correct.
Now, if I really simplify that, pardon me if I'm too simplifying it, SurveyMonkey on an iPhone, how does that differ? And you also alluded to the fact that less participation. How do you force the general public to have your app on the phone?
Very good question. So let me answer your first question, SurveyMonkey. How many surveys do they have to go back and register to put their name to do for every little opinion that they have to send out? And every different person, every different industry is going to be shooting them that many survey. So imagine the city of Toronto wants to know, the province wants to know, the federal wants to know on different issues. That's how many surveys. Do you think people are going to really sit there and deal with that?
Isn't that the same thing with your product too?
It's different, because once you download the app, all these positions are there. We will be sending push notification to alert them on issues that matter to them. That's kind of personalized based on their interest. So whatever they care about. For example, you might not care about, you might be a commuter, you might be driving and you don't care about the subway for all that matters. You won't be interested in taking position on those. So we will not be sending that information as we know. So we're going to be sending you stuff maybe on driving. You might care about car insurance. You might care about your gas prices. You might care about things that matter to you. So it's going to be very personalized. So that's why they're not going to start ignoring things. And to your second question, which is why are they going to use this? Why are they going to download it onto their phone? And that's why our channel partners are very important to us, because they're going to put stuff on there that they're going to monitor. So it's all about having your say at the end of the day.
Who's your channel partner?
It's our client is the channel partner as well as the client, because they want that information. So they're a partner in this process, because they want to push that information out. They want to collect that information.
So you're seeing them pushing it out to their constituents. Is that what you're seeing?
Correct. So the elected officials will push it out to their constituents. The media will broadcast it to everybody, wherever their coverage is. Nonprofit organizations will push it to early adopters who care about civic issues.
Jay, I just have a bit of a struggle to understand something here. The constituents, these party political leaders, they want the opinion of their people, their followers, things like that, and people that haven't made up their mind yet, right? Now, I need to really grasp the idea of how do you force someone, or how do they get in touch with the regular Joe on the street that's going to download that? I understand what you just told to Vahisa, but I'm still struggling to understand that what is the use, so not the use, how do you get them to download that app? You've got the content, yes,
right. And
they've got the questions.
Right, so I'm going to go back to say, it's about issues that you care about. So when you care about something, you would want to do something about it. You have an opinion, you want to voice it. Right now, the general consensus is that the reason for low participation is that, does my voice even matter? Like in the election, if I vote tomorrow, does it even count? What difference does it make? That's the issue. But the moment you know when it's a particular issue that you care about, and that's where we come in. So we're going to do not just sell the app or sell the subscription to the person, but we're also going to enable them. We're going to ensure that they hear the opinions of these people. So that's the value we add.
And it's free for the constituents, but
absolutely, it's free for the users. There's nothing that they have to buy. It's just a way for them to voice their opinion.
I think there's just an echo. Like I have a similar fear. I mean, if you look at the 2011 elections, I think, right? Overall, the voting rate was something like 60%, which is really low. It's the lowest, one of the lowest ones we've had in Canada.
Right.
Now, if you look at the youngest cohort, 18 to 24, the voting rate was 40%.
Right.
40% of people who could vote in that age group went out to vote.
Right.
So what I'm seeing is that, like, those are the people groups that I would say are early adopters to this kind of technology.
Absolutely.
But they themselves are not engaged in one of the most important sort of civic engagement exercises that we have. Like, how do you respond to that?
Do you have anything to support what Manjula is saying?
Yes, I do, and that's where organizations like Samara, this is what they do. They do research on, study these people. Why are they not voting? They publish studies. So one of the things that shows is there's a lot of organizations popping up during election times to promote engagement. But during the rest of the time, there's nobody really working to promote engagement. Engagement doesn't come on voting on election only. It's an active process, a continual process. And that's where we come in. It's a platform that's there every day at their, whenever they feel like using it, whether they're waiting for a bus, they're riding a train, it's there when they have the impulse to take action on something.
So
and we provide
my
that
question
easiness
is,
to do so.
how do you close the loop? So say that I go and voice my opinion. How do I know if that really counted or not? Like, how do I know if the politician took an action on that?
Right, so we give feedback, right? So you take actions. The moment there's enough actions, for example, for one action, the politician's not going to look at it. Like the same goes when you said one letter. So when there's collective number of actions taken by users coming up, we act to flag. We send a digest to the elected official. So based on your postal code, we know where you live, what is your riding, what is your ward, whether it's a federal issue, provincial issue, or local issue. We send it to that appropriate person, a digest of here is what's happening in your riding, and this is what people are talking about, and we encourage them to come on board. And so we do active advocacy kind of to bring them on board to say, look, there's 1,000 people have an opinion on this. They're dying for this. Politicians want to know. They have this very expensive ways of doing it. They do polling.
I understand the fact that they want to know, but as a regular citizen, how does that feedback come back to me?
Right, so we send a digest.
Because
they're
I'm
on board.
anonymous, right?
Right, so they're on board, and then whenever they take an action on the issue, we send you that notification back to you. So whenever they, for example, let's look at
So you
Bill
can just
C-15.
deliver a message back saying, your
Right.
local leader has taken your vote and is going to raise this up in the next
That's right.
general meeting, things like that. Okay.
Right, if I
That makes-
had
that makes
15, 20
perfect sense.
minutes, I could probably go through
I have
every
another-
details
sorry.
of how the app works, but I understand. It's also
So
something
you
that you need to
mentioned
understand.
that it was free for the users, but then what is the subscription model? You had listed $3,000 just for the.
The individual as in a politician. So if I go back to that slide.
So the users, it's free, but then this is your.
So individual as a, when I refer to individual, I'm not talking about the users, the resident, I'm talking about the elected official lawmaker
Right.
who's going to pay for this
Fine.
as an
So
individual. They have a different budget.
I have
Right.
2 questions which
Sure.
I'm going to just close off on here. The first question is, you said there's low participation levels with companies like your competition, Angus Mead, etc. Why do they have low participation levels at the moment?
They call you over the phone. They ask you boring questions for 15, 20 minutes. I don't know how often maybe you guys would have got these calls. How many times did you actually participate or want to participate? You might have had, people don't want to sit there on a phone.
People
and
that
answer
care,
questions.
dude. People that care, will they about these issues? Will
Right,
they take
so
that
that's
call?
why they call tens of 20,000 users, and they only talk to 1,000 people,
Right,
500
okay.
people, and those are the people that respond. And a lot of these people also give you false information just
Sure.
because they just don't want to be, they don't want to waste 30 minutes of their time.
So, and the final question, which if you don't mind me asking,
Wow.
do you want to take that?
Yeah, I'll take this. Hello? Wow, well, I think we want to, I think we want to talk this through as well on this side. Okay, we'll hear back from you in a couple of minutes. Okay, thank you. Okay, looks like the investment partner has a few questions that we need to talk about.
Okay.
So could we ask you to kind of leave for about 5 minutes? We just need to, I want to bring up those questions with this group here. Would that
Sure.
be okay?
No problem.
Great,
Great.
thank you.
Thank
Great
you.
presentation.
Welcome back, Jay. Thank you. Our investment partner had a question and the team had another. I'm going to put them to you. I will ask you to keep your answers maybe somewhat to the point and short. The first one is, when someone, let's say you have someone in Markham, a leader in Markham, who pays $3,000, buys this product, who gets them the end users? Is their own office and the aides responsible for getting those users?
No.
Or will it be your team that will do that for them?
So it's 2 parts. So one, of course, as a client, as person wanting the data, they would obviously market users to download the app if they haven't done so already. But app itself, we'll be promoting the app itself. So there will be already existing user base they will leverage, and they will also add user base to it. So every time somebody does it, we will increase the user base as it goes.
So you're hoping that it kind of grows virally as well as, okay.
That's right.
Second question for you, this was something the team really cared about, is what is your exit strategy? Like, I see this just being a company that just works on cash flow. Is there anything else that you have planned as an exit strategy? Or what is your exit strategy?
So there's a couple. We, of course, our focus right now is on the product. We haven't really given too much thought, but we do have some options. So we're hoping somebody, a big player in the industry, in the news industry or in the polling industry, will be interested in this because it's a disruptive way of gauging opinion. Yeah.
And when do you go into profit?
So at the end of year 1.
At the end of year 1.
Yeah.
I love that you have a product that is focused on improving civic engagement. I'll just say that, regardless of what the decision is. Kudos to you.
Thank you.
Jay, so the investment partner thinks that you've got a great product as well. At the moment, he doesn't feel that it's a product that is going to take you, fast track you to the final. So he's going to put you into the public vote with the other contestants are in the public vote, and let the public decide if your product is what they're looking for, and see if you get a spot in the final amongst the other finalists.
Sure.
Congratulations, Jay.
Thank you.
Great presentation.
Great product.
With everything in there.
Great pitch. Well done.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Maybe the problem we need to solve is getting young people to vote. Maybe that's the problem.
Yeah, I'm just.
Isn't that the hardest thing to solve right now?
Yeah, that's what we need innovation in.
I'm just wondering about his user base. That's where my concern is, right? Like, how many people are actually going to switch to this and not use Facebook or Twitter to express their opinion?
Congratulations, Jay. You just made it into the voting round. What are your thoughts?
Thank you. I mean, now that I delivered it, obviously the butterflies and the smack are gone, so feeling great. I mean, the product it's great that actually it's going to public vote because the product is meant for public. And you know, this is a great way for my product to kind of get out there. Because what I'm building is actually for them to voice their opinion to the decision makers. I mean, if you think back to 2009 as a community, when we had those tough times, what we lacked was that political clout as a community to get any sort of support for our cause. And I think that's where this is going to come in. It's going to give more of a clout to people because low participation. So we went out and voted on election day, as immigrant communities do, because they value their citizenship, value their rights to vote. So they do that. They do that very well actually compared to Canadians who've been here for so long. But the problem is we don't get involved in those issues in the decision-making process. We are never part of it. And that's where the main problem is, and that's where the drawback that we had. And I think that's what I'm trying to solve with this problem. And once we can get on there and express our view, then we'll have our voice will have value.
This time, none of the contestants made it into the final round, but they do have one last chance with your help. Who will win next and who won't? I'm your host, Ashwini Ravindran. Thanks for watching.
Set furnishing provided by Living Furniture, Kennedy and Lawrence, Scarborough.